Good evening and welcome to the March 14th, 2024 Town of Lake Luzerne Zoning Board of Appeals meeting. Would you all please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On this evening's agenda, we have a re-review of variance 2023 AV-9, Renee Elliott, 44 Harris Avenue, minutes from previous zoning board meetings, and new and old business. And with that, I would like to get into the re-review of area variance 2023 AV-9. And I have met with Karen regarding the changes that the Elliots are making to this proposal. I have talked to council regarding the application, and this will not be a re-review of the variance. This will be a review of a new variance because the changes are substantial. So some of the information that was presented previously, such as the deed, et cetera, are applicable. But the location of the building, the height of the building, the rationale are all different. So this is going to be looked at as a new application. So with that, Mrs. Elliott, please come to the podium. So the last time we met, you had been asked to provide specific information as to the design of the building, the size of the building, the location of the septic system. Now, I understand that you have done that. You have hired a contractor to locate the dry well. You have worked a considerable amount of time with Karen and Chris to minimize the impact of the variance and provide you with a building which is what you feel you need for your storage shed. Things have changed. The shed is no longer 6 feet or 8 feet, depending on when you looked in the previous application, 9.5 feet. The location has gone from the, if you're facing the property from Harris Avenue, from the back right corner to the back left corner. So please tell me how you got there from here.
All right, so when we had Bradley Septic come out to find the dry well, it turned out if you're facing the back of the property, like standing behind the house, the dry well turned out to be, we're kind of very close to where we wanted the shed to be. So then we had decided to move it, to the left side of the property. That's how we decided to shift it, because it was too close to the, to that dry well. So
let me just interject something here. In the wastewater treatment ordinance, you're supposed to try and keep you're supposed to keep the components at least 10 feet away from any structure. So that is why we ended up having the issue of where to place it, to try to keep this building 10 feet away from the dry well and the septic tank.
Okay.
yeah, we didn't have we don't have a lot of options. It's a very small lot.
And the height changing from 6 to 8 to 9.5, 9.5 feet.
The height didn't get changed. I mean, we didn't have a height in the last application, which was one of the reasons why you asked us to come back. I said I'd have to get a hold of the manufacturer.
They were using
Find out what the height was, and
They were using 8 feet walls.
3 inches deep.
Yeah, they were using 8 feet walls and hadn't considered the peak. That was that issue.
Okay, so for the record, what exactly is it you're asking the area variance for? I understand that the fence does not change. So you're asking for a variance for the fence which faces Harris Road, which the regulations state cannot exceed 4 feet. It is 6 feet. You're asking for a variance for that.
Right.
You've provided a preferred location and an alternate location for the storage shed. Is it your desire that the storage shed be a 12 by 12 shed, 9 feet 6 inches in height, and be in the facing from, I can do east and west, but facing the property from Harris Avenue, it will be in the left-hand corner, 2 feet from the existing fence and 10 feet off the sideline. Is that correct? Okay.
So this request in front of us, is this the original one from 12/5/23?
No,
No.
we redid it today.
Revised.
So this is the revised 3/14/24.
Correct.
Where
Right.
did we leave with the other request? Did that,
The other request,
was the
The-
public hearing set for that?
the public hearing was set, originally it was set mistakenly by me for 3/7, excuse me. And then corrected at the last meeting, was to be held tonight, but it was determined that we were not in a position to hold the public hearing because there were too many open items. Karen conferred with Mary on that. The public hearing, the notice did not go out for the public hearing. The Elliots have made substantial changes to the application request, which is why we're reviewing this as a new application, and we'll have to establish a new date for a public hearing should we accept this application.
So do we have to do anything with the old request that we approved? Like, that's just kind of out there.
I don't believe you approved it, because you asked for more information.
Okay, that's why I was asking, did we approve that one?
We accepted the application as complete with conditions. Okay,
So do we have to do anything to get rid of that? So that's fine, just sit, okay. So this is a brand new application.
I-
A new check was, $100 was paid.
No, they didn't have to repay a fee on this. We've used the same fee that we had before. We haven't sent out a public hearing notice or anything.
Okay. So I know in the past, whenever anybody revised or reviewed or changed this, we always made them pay for it again. And I'm not trying to come down and attack you guys for 100. I want to make sure it's all done right. If this is a brand new application.
I think in the end on those other ones, they did not have to repay the fee. I think it was part of the original application in those cases. I don't recall offhand having to have someone repay an application fee yet.
Trying to make sure.
No, I'm-
Get cloudy.
no, I'm right.
Stuff sitting out the-
I appreciate that. I'm right there with you. Okay, I'd like to go through the new application. Does anyone have any questions for the Elliots before we start? Okay. So we're looking for a variance for the fence height, which is currently 6 inches, 6 feet, and only 4 feet is allowed. They're looking at a required front yard setback of 27 feet as opposed to 60 feet. That would be from the center line of East River Drive for the structure. History of the property: home was purchased in January 2023. Single-family dwelling with the fence along the East River Drive side and a small fenced area along the side of the house, chain link as a dog yard. There are no storage sheds on the property. Description of the proposed action: we want to install a small shed for lawn equipment storage As nothing exists now and there's no garage for storage, we want to leave the fence at the existing height to continue to reduce highway noise and ensure privacy. Anyone have any questions on the history or the proposed action?
No. Nope.
Going through the variance standards. Question number 1, describe how the requested variance will not alter the character of the larger neighborhood or impact adjacent properties. The response is by leaving the fence at 6 feet of height along the East River Drive, it will not alter the character or impact adjacent properties as it existed that way for years. The storage shed, if put on the East River Drive side, will mainly not be visible except for 3.5 feet of height. That is the 9.5 foot storage shed adjacent to the 6 foot existing fence. Anyone have any questions on the response to number 1? Question number 2, describe what alternatives have been explored to achieve a solution other than a variance. Response is we looked at heights, alternative sites for the storage shed, but we would be asking for multiple variances and any other placement. We are limited to where we can put the shed to the wastewater treatment location. If you look, turn to the plot plan, a couple pages later in your packet. Karen and Chris went to the site and looked at all the different setbacks and possible locations. There is a potential alternative location in the front of the property, just off the Harris Ave side, that will put the shed in front of the house. That is an alternative. It would also require variances. But there is an alternative has been proposed. The shed is not the desired size. They would prefer to have the 12 by 12 shed as opposed to 10 by 10 shed. And the size gets smaller if you put it in front of the property because of the setback requirements. So I just wanted to point out that an alternative has been considered.
So which option is this exact variance for? Is it for the 12 by 12 or 10 by 10?
My understanding in speaking to the Elliots is that the desire is to build the 12 by 12 shed in the back of the property. I have also been informed by council that this could go to the public hearing with the 12 by 12 and the 10 by 10 proposed. I would prefer to see this as, since the Elliots are asking, preferred location is the back of the property, the 12 by 12. I would prefer to see this as that being the variance. The request for the 12 by 12 shed. Okay, so that would be my proposal. This is the variance. This would be an alternate location.
It's up to you guys. What do you want the variance for?
We want it.
Well, I think in the back corner.
Yes, they're asking,
It's much
they're
more
asking for this.
aesthetically pleasing, and it's gonna be intrusive in the front of the house right there, you know.
You will get no argument from me.
So this variance is tied to the 12 by 12.
The 12 by 12,
And the front, that's just for example.
right. There are alternative locations where it could be placed, but they would still require variances.
Okay.
All right.
Question number 3, explain whether this requested variance is substantial. The request is substantial, but we're only asking for one variance for the shed. When put in either position, if we placed it anywhere else, we'd have to ask for multiple variances. You are also asking for a variance for the height of the fence, which is, in my way of thinking, substantial because it's 6 feet instead of 4 feet, so a 50% increase. But to me, question number 3 is answered. Do I have any disagreement?
Questions answered.
Question number 4, describe how the requested variance will not have an adverse impact on physical and environmental conditions in their neighborhood. We're not physically disturbing any soils or environment, and there are many similar structures in this area. Is this structure going to be stick built on site, or is it going to be hauled in complete and landed on the property?
It's stick built.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Question 5, describe how the requested variance is not a self-created difficulty. Response is, it is self-created and that we're asking to do this project, but there are so few alternatives where to put the shed, and the fence was already on the property when we bought it. Question is answered. Does anyone have any questions for the Elliots on this new application? The specs for the shed are included in the packet, and along with a statement from Bradley Septic that he located the dry well in a location that was previously going to be very close to the location where the storage shed was proposed. Any questions? Make a motion to accept this application as complete.
Second.
Please.
Matt?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
Bridget?
Yes.
Yes.
Caleb?
Yes.
Hearing none, motion carried.
Make a motion to establish a public hearing for area variance 2023 AV-9 44 Harris Avenue, 7:05 PM on April 11th, 2024.
Second that.
Please.
Matt?
Yes.
Ralph?
Yes.
Bridget?
Yes.
Yes.
Caleb?
Yes.
Hearing none, motion carried.
So you were having your public hearing finally on April 11th. Karen, I don't think you need anything else from the Elliots? Okay. Then we will see you on the 11th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
You too. Have you all had a chance to look at the minutes that Chris put out?
Yes.
Yes.
Does anyone have any questions? Make a motion to accept the minutes from February 8th, 2024.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Carried.
Thank you. New and old business. We're still in need of an alternate. No, you can't be the alternate. Does anyone know of anyone who is interested? I mean, I would like to say more than interested, someone you qualify, yes, qualified is a very good term,
Yeah.
qualified to be on the zoning board, who might also either be interested or coerced into being on the zoning board.
We can at least put thought into that.
I would appreciate it.
That's how I got on here.
I know it is. I know. I'm fully aware of that. Mr. Niles has spoken to me about it. I'm at a disadvantage here. You know, I've been up here 5 years. I don't know everybody. So those of you, because basically the rest of you are all from up here. So I would really appreciate your input on this.
Okay.
Mary, do you have anything for us? Okay. Karen,
No, I have nothing.
anyone else have anything? Motion to adjourn.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. I knew it was going to be short.